In this video, I want to show you a new add-on that I've created for WordCore. So if you go over, well, firstly you add the default repository, which is just https://repo.wordcore.space. You can do that within settings. You can see the documentations add-on right here. So if I install this here, I activate it. It's called docs here. That's just, yeah, that's just what it's called. I need to do some updates because I started naming new add-ons differently. So it's VC, and then it basically reached the file here. So I need to update that. But if you go to docs, it is already filled in because I already did this once. If you delete an add-on, it actually doesn't delete its files. Those files will be within its data folder, which you can just go in and delete the data folder if you want to. There's no SQL if you didn't know. You can set that up if you really want to. But anyway, so as you can see, we have this here. I can click view on this one here, and we will get a nice little documentation here. A little previous thing here, a little next. So this is just a little bit on how to get started with WordCore. So installation, your first add-on, like it's very simple. Right now I will add some more stuff. I will just basically tell AI to make it because I'm just gonna give it the full thing because it's just easier, and then I will look through it obviously. But yeah, I'll just say to make a JSON file, and boom, I can upload it like that. You can also download the JSON file here if you want to, so you can upload it somewhere else if you want to, or just, I don't know what you want to do with it, but it is there. Let me show you how it looks. It basically looks like this here, which is very readable data. We see the collection ID, the title of it, the slot of it, blah, blah, all that. So that you basically just can upload it, and it automatically puts in articles, and it puts in the collection things. We can make it also, obviously. If we go into the articles of it, we can make an article. There's a little bug here where it does this here. I'll fix that at some point. Or you could also just fix it if you want to, because the repo is on GitHub. Which also does result in add-ons take a little bit of time before showing up in here. But it doesn't really matter. It's only very jarring because I'm seeing it, and then it's like, or like, I mean, I'm uploading it. I'm like, okay, it's not showing up. It shows up within like a minute or two. So yeah. But for you, just getting it when it gets there really doesn't matter. But yeah, so as you see, we have docs here, which doesn't show up when we go on to other pages, as you can see. So when it shows up here, because it's just a different thing, because there's no themes in WordCore. You can make themes. There's this here, which if we go over here, doesn't do anything. But if we go to another page, it does do something because there's pages support. There's no doc support for it. It was made with AI, but I need to make a new theme. I don't like this theme here. Default theme actually contains literally nothing. I can literally show you that if you go over to over here. I need to set this up here. I know. If you go to themes, default theme.json, literally 100% nothing in here. So yeah, that is just nothing right now, because it really, you don't have to have a theme. You can literally delete the default theme and nothing will break, like, because the idea, like, everything is sandboxed, so you need to make your add-on have everything to show itself. Like you need to create templates, you need to do this so it actually works. There's no like, oh, I'm just gonna ask the core to be like, can you do a little bit of work for me? No. Everything is sandbox. You can kind of make stuff for other things. Of course, if you add hooks into it. So yeah. So as you can see, we go to fav icons. I can browse media, meaning I can say this one. I still have an issue with fav icon here. But yeah, and we have roles, which literally can have roles. As you can see, we have docs here, manage documentation. And each add-on needs to give up some permissions. If you don't add permissions to your add-on, a user can technically go in and mess with it if you don't protect your add-on in the admin end. Because I don't build it so it's like basically it's only secure if you make it secure. Let's say it like that. With all my add-ons that I've set up, like I would advise you when you create an add-on, just take the pages add-on, copy that, like or one of the other add-ons, whatever is closest to what you want to make. Copy that, build on top of it, look how it works, because it just makes it easier to understand how you can do things. I will make a full documentation page based on pages, how it works, so you can follow that, because if you cannot see how that works, and if you like look at, I don't know, it just look at it and you can understand how it works. It's kind of hard to explain right now, but yeah. So, and also this like I also want to just show this here how little there actually is here. Like look at this here. Does this browser show performance here? Like look. Like there's a little bit, obviously there's always going to be some problems. Like it's really good. I don't know what this means, but it's really good. Like, oh, this is Echo Send, which is a browser extension that I have made, which basically allows you to send stuff. Echo Send, by the way, is like there's a website here. I don't think no one uses it. I just have it on because it basically is meant so you can go onto a website and comment on it, like on videos or whatever. Anyway, let's get back over here. So yeah, so I don't know what to say, but pretty much, yeah, I don't know what to say, but I see there's some stuff how to set up capabilities. Like the thing is, like think of WordCore like an open WordPress. You might be like, but WordPress is open. Not really. They have added more and more stuff into it that now you have to rely 100% on what is there already. With WordCore, you can literally make your front end however you want it. There's no standards of how a there's obviously small standards, don't get me wrong, but the idea is there that you only have what you want to have. If you don't want blocks, you just don't install blocks. If you don't want pages, you just don't install pages. If you don't want anything, I don't know why you'd install WordCore, but yeah. You can make anything with WordCore. Of course, you do with WordPress too, but the thing with WordPress is that it's like I love WordPress. Don't get me wrong, I just hate it too. Like the way it has become just about making money for every developer, it's really disgusting. WordPress used to be such an open platform, but now it's just a marketplace now. You download an add-on or plugin, and it's like, you get these simple features for free, and then you need to pay like $1,000 a year in order to have this. Like it's just so bad. Like I've used WordPress for like 15 years or something like that, and I just seen how it has become so bad. And then when they made the full site editor, it like the worst thing they could have added because it's so bad. They rely so much on developers on it. If you implement something, it should work fully. But you cannot do basic editor things in FSC unless you download 500 plugins. If you want something, put all the functionalities in it. Like you could have taken like like just left it how it was. What it was good. Old theming was good. Like what? Like they could have just made a full site editor that just made default themes. You didn't have to reinvent the wheel that was like, was it crooked, the wheel that was a little upside down when you drove around? Sure, but it worked. Like, and then you just went and made a square wheel instead. Like you didn't make the wheel round. You didn't make it perfect. You took it and made it square. Like it like and with WordCore, the the fundamentals of it is freedom. The fundamental is open source. It's fully open source. It's under the MIT license, which basically means that you can do almost whatever you want to it. Like I barely know what it means. I just put it because it just yeah. So it says here, permission is hereby granted free of charge to any person obtaining a copy of this software and association documentation files. The software to deal in the software without restriction, including without limitation, the rights to use, copy, modify, merge, publish, distribute, sublicense, and or sell copies of the software, and to permit persons to whom the software is furnished to do so, subject to the following conditions. The above copyright notice and this permission notice shall be included in all copies and substantial portion of the software. The software is provided as is without warranty of any kind, express or implied, including but not limited to the warrant, whatever it says. I don't know what it says. Like it just said you can do whatever you want with it. Like as long as you don't use it for anything malicious, I don't care what you're gonna do with it. Like use it for anything. Like I would be happy if I don't have to touch it. Like commit like do commits here. Like I'll only touch it if it's really needed. Like I made it so that everything's sandboxed for a reason. So you just make what you want to make. You make, and then you can connect with that. Like you don't have to worry about another add-on breaking something. Of course it can, but it like it can only break something if you make it break something. Like you cannot touch another add-on unless you really want to. Like as you clearly can see with like a theme, because you need to make support for everything with a theme. Is that a little bit bad? Not really. I mean, like in theory, I don't really need to make full support like that with like anything. Like if I do this here, for example, as you see this one here, if I can actually go to pages and view, And see, there's an add-on needed, but like I could do so it doesn't really have to just support those. I could just add in something in all of them to do that. So if you run a repo, just say, hey, put this in, and then that allows anything to do anything that it wants with it. Like, there's so much freedom. Like, the update add-on, I will do so in the next update of the update add-on. And that you can put in your own GitHub repo for updates. Like, it basically be like you just say, okay, now this here, I put this in here, and then this here, look for updates there. So like it's completely free. If I stop working on it and don't accept any commits, make your own GitHub repository and then update it there. Like you can already do that already because of the license. Like I just wanted to make a platform that I could just use and not have to worry about breaking anything else. Like I just wanted something that I could have full control over, which I really can't work with because there's so much. Like like for example, like the real reason why I started doing this is because I was making a plugin for WooCommerce that basically made it into like a gaming kind of marketplace where there is how can I describe this? Where inside of a product there can be sub products for products. So like if let's say granted auto 4 on Xbox or just granted auto 4, and then someone could be like, oh, I actually want to sell a granted auto 4, and then it shows like sub products for that, like on Xbox 360, blah 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 blah. But constantly, because WordPress is not made for changes like that, it just breaks itself. So like, could I just be like, I'm just gonna make my whole own WooCommerce? Yes, I could do that, but if at that point I just rather want to have full control over it. And with this here, it's not just like it is made for me, but with this here, other people can just like make I don't know, like it's hard to explain it because if people don't understand it, like it just like I just it cannot be explained. It's something you have to understand when you do stuff for like a thing and then it changes so much that you can't, because like I don't have any confidence in WordPress. Like because let's say you made something for old themes, right? And then it's just like, well, we're going over these new themes where 90% of plugins don't work with because they were done for old themes. Like, there was a period where you could not use most WooCommerce gateways, payment gateways, because themes started using uh, like a checkout block. Like, like WordPress intentionally, the developers intentionally broke most plugins, and like that pissed me off. I didn't even make like code at that point. It just pissed me off because I liked how it looked, but then I cannot use it for anything because 90% of plugins would not be able to interact with it because it's a whole new code. I understand changing, but why change it so much that the whole intent of WordPress gets thrown out the window? I mean, like WordPress is not the developers that makes WordPress. WordPress is the developers that makes plugins and themes for WordPress. Without that, WordPress doesn't exist. WordPress is nothing without the repository. The developers of WordPress don't matter in the grand scheme of WordPress. Like, all this should focus on is just making security patches and letting the community make all the plugins that is needed to then like make everything work. Yes, that result in like an anarchy of what is the right way, what is wrong. Like, yes, but that is the good thing. You get to what the community wants as a collection and not what you want, because you don't know what people want. But if people start coming together around one thing, then like, I understand that WordPress is technically open source, but that's like 1% of the community that actually does anything like that. It's not the majority that doesn't want all these changes. Like, it. Like, and anyone that says they like the full site editor is full of shit. Like, how can you like it when you need 20 different plugins in order to actually do a little bit of work? Like, the theme has to decide like how it works. You make a thing that doesn't have the most basic features. It's insane. Sometimes, depending on the, because default FSE, it's full site editor, doesn't have a simple field where you can type in the size of a text. And then when I look online, there's just like, go into the CSS editor. No, you just, instead of having a drop down with like small whatever, having a drop down of a few sizes, just make it a field you can fucking edit. Like, it pisses me so much off. Like, oh, WordPress is not made for the community. WordPress is made for the 1% that makes WordPress. Like, WordPress is not made for anyone really. Like, and I do know that if WordCore ever becomes popular, it's going to turn out the same with a lot of people making add-ons that just cost money. But that is, I also made sure to then just have, you can make your own repo with good free add-ons. Like, the default repo will never include anything where 90% of it is behind the paywall. I do very much believe in paying plugin developers for their work. If someone makes an add-on, I'm not gonna say, hey, do not charge for these features. No, I will encourage you to charge for the right features. If it's something that you spend like weeks or months on, I'm like, yeah, go ahead and charge for it. But if it's something that you spend 5 minutes making, a day making, do not charge for it. Like, I have seen someone charge on a WordPress plugin for WooCommerce to add the author of the product into the product page and charge like $100 for that. Like, how dare you charge for that? Like, something that takes less than a minute to make, obviously, like, take like maybe half an hour to make if you like, but like, it just, I just don't get it. Like, where did WordPress go wrong? Like, WordPress just isn't made for people anymore. It just isn't. Like, or it's just made for people that is rich. I guess WordPress is about making money now. I'd say, wasn't it always? Yeah. But by the individual people making a website and making money through like a product or whatever. Not by like making $1,000 plugins and themes and stuff. Again, I'm not against people making money off their work. I'm against people selling work that like took no time to make. Like, for example, Elementor, for example, if I remember correctly, headers and footers and stuff cost money. Like, and correct me if I'm wrong on that, but it just, from what I've seen, it does cost money to enable that feature. Like, you can't do that. I mean, you can obviously do that, but you shouldn't do that. Like, if I was the WordPress, like the people that is at the highest of WordPress, I would not. I would say, okay, you can do that, but we're not gonna allow your a free version of it on the repository then. Like, because like, and you might say, but it's beside that. No, you're advertising for it within the free plugin to buy something that is technically, I would call it scam. And like for me, I would not allow that on WordCore. You're not gonna charge people for something that took you no time to make, something that maybe used to be free. You're not gonna turn around and charge people for that. Like, you're not. It doesn't make sense. Like, what you're saying with such a move is that the people that use this plugin or this theme doesn't matter. They only matter if they can spend money. That's not how it should work, should it? Like, like it's just insane. The same with mm, like support. Why should support be under a payment? If you have a free plugin, you should provide support for it. You shouldn't say only support if you pay. I'm not saying that you should provide free work, but basic support. Just the bare minimum. I'm not asking for you to be like, okay, I can go in and edit the plugin because you said there was this or this issue that no one else has. I'm not saying that. I'm saying help them get to what they need. Like, I just like, am I saying WordCore is good in any way? No. WordCore could be a hell of a lot better. But it's just like, I'm just trying to make it like kind of like how WordPress used to be. It's also why it's called WordCore. It's supposed to be the core of everything, not the thing that people just use to make money. Like, the press in WordPress has become about making money. The press, it sounds stupid, but yeah. Like, WordPress has just become a money printer for so many people, and it shouldn't be. Charge for what makes sense to charge for. I'm not gonna be the guy that says cannot charge for this, cannot charge for that. I'm just gonna tell you what I think is fair. Without the people using your plugin, or in this case an add-on, you're not anything. Treat people better. Like, if anything, use the ones that use your thing for free. Use them as a way to make the whole thing better. Because a lot of the times, the ones using your stuff for free actually loves it. The ones that paid feel an obligation to use it because they paid for it. Think about that.